as I called it, with Andre Ward and Max Kellerman.
Guys, we went over the instructions earlier. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck.
Trainer to the stars, Freddie Roach, hoping to make it 2 triumphant weekends in a row here in New York. Last year, when Provodnikov won this title by beating Mike Alvarado in Colorado, Roach was in the Philippines training Manny upstairs as Algieri begins to unleash that long jab.
Something to keep in mind is Provodnikov is cut in the past, so Algieri doesn't necessarily have to land a devastating shot if he keeps that jab pumping and stays out of trouble. But Provodnikov's already cutting off the ring extremely well, Andre.
Yeah, Provodnikov's not wasting any time. He's doing exactly what he said.
Provodnikov and moving back, and now he gives the real estate away again momentarily, was pinned against the ropes. Provodnikov got in a little left hook. Now there's some distance between them. Algieri gets to stick that jab again.
I like what Provodnikov is doing. He's very crafty with as much as the head is, and then the headshots will be there just like that.
Down goes Algieri on a Ruslan Provodnikov left hook. And Algieri's right eye appears to canvas as a professional boxer, and it happened 2 minutes into round 1.
Freddie Roach's imprint all over this fight. When you give him an aggressive, shorter fighter like Miguel Cotto or Ruslan Provodnikov.
Second knockdown.
It's a thing of beauty.
Algieri goes down on a right hand, and I don't believe his right eye.
See it swelling.
So 2 knockdowns already in the round for Provodnikov. And this could be quick.
You could give Algieri 3 eyes. I don't think it would make a difference.
Like I mentioned,
that he was going to be able to upset Provodnikov's apple cart here tonight. The first few body punches may well have changed that perspective. Provodnikov means business.
Algieri's still fighting with some confidence. He's just being overwhelmed physically.
Round 1 is a 10-7 round for Provodnikov. And there's Algieri's brother, Michael.
Get in here, land kind of a funky right hand behind the head, and I'm sure it threw off the equilibrium of Algieri.
Well, that was as much Algieri taking a knee as going down as the result of the shot. He was just feeling the pressure again and perhaps reacting somewhat to the fact that his right eye was already swelling shut.
Is, you know, the prevailing sense was that Bradley fought the wrong kind of fight against Ruslan Provodnikov. I'm not sure that if they had a rematch, Bradley would be capable of fighting a different kind of fight. Provodnikov forces you into his fight. He cuts off the ring. He attacks with ferocity from the opening bell.
That's true, but Timothy wanted to box and really got on his jab. The level that Timothy's at and the caliber of fighter that he is, he showed that he can give Provodnikov some issues, but you're right, it's not an easy thing to do. Out confidence to continue to do what he's doing, and he's showing it tonight. He's not hesitating, he's gotten right to business. Algieri doesn't look scared. This is how he fights. He moves a lot. He just can't do anything with Provodnikov right now.
Let's take a listen to Michael Algieri as he talks to his brother.
Move, quick!
Move! There you go. Get out of there! Get out! Get out! Tie up! Get out! Oh, tie up! Tie up on the inside if you want to fucking do that. Fucking man
Algieri's boxing well.
Moments when he's able to catch Algieri and land a shot.
Provodnikov has landed some violent 2- and 3-punch combinations that Algieri is definitely feeling.
A more talented fighter, there's not much you can do to win the fight. Algieri is doing everything right now.
And he knocks Provodnikov's head back with a jab there. Crowd responds appreciatively.
No shortage of heart from Algieri right now.
Another left hook lands for Provodnikov. Algieri getting out of the way. Out of 92, including 10 of 59 jabs, getting off 92 punches, landing 24. Small victories for Algieri's game plan, which was to flood Provodnikov with greater punch count, move on his feet, try to limit the number of times that Provodnikov could get to him with power shots. Algieri went to the canvas twice.
But you know what Algieri was able to do last round? Turn it from a battle of will into a battle of skill. And it was more the kind of fight that favors him.
Freddie Roach's response was to tell Provodnikov, use the jab a little more so that you can get closer when you land those big shots. And Provodnikov, listening to Roach, is firing the jab and then coming back with the body shots.
The only problem is Algieri has to keep this up for another 9.5 rounds.
It's the kind of fight he knew he had to fight coming in.
Left hook lands upstairs for Provodnikov. Algieri with a solid right hand. Provodnikov walks through that.
His best bet is to keep his feet moving or keep the fight in the center of the ring, and that's easier said than done, but he's got to identify that.
Good body shot by Algieri. Drew another little grin from Ruslan Provodnikov, as if to say, oh, you like to fight? I love to fight.
Algieri said he recognized there'd be moments in the fight where he had to fight Provodnikov often.
Ability to see Provodnikov's left hook.
It's tough enough fighting Provodnikov for two good eyes, much less one eye on its way to closing.
And Algieri is acquitting himself very well in this fight, I think, so far, Andre, even though he's taking punishment.
No shortage of heart. Another level of opponent in Provodnikov, but he has a kickboxing background. He said he's been in tough fight to the canvas, not in a boxing ring, but a kickboxing ring, and he's showing his heart tonight. Good.
But he's sharp.
Stop. Hey, keep it clean. All right, let's go. Time!
Landed the harder punches. Third round, Algieri boxed very well and landed hard punches at the end. So after 3 rounds, I have Provodnikov up by 3 points.
And there's a little hesitation when Provodnikov gets position, and in that hesitation, Algieri comes with 2 and 3 shots.
And in doing that, he doesn't have to be a major, puncher like you said. He's just got to touch you hard enough to get your attention, and he's getting Provodnikov's attention right now.
Oh, hard body shot by Provodnikov drives Algieri back.
It's a big left hook from Algieri.
Well, I think there's a formula there by which Algieri could get back into the fight.
And how about this kid getting beaten up like that in the first round by a heavy favorite and coming back and boxing the way he has so far?
Very impressive.
And I meant intangibles that he's showing now. He has those intangibles. Regardless of what happens in this fight, he's showing a strong performance right now against a very, very tough and durable fighter.
Amazingly impressive, frankly, for a guy who took up boxing at 23. Now the kickboxing gave him a combat sport background, and he actually won a world championship in kickboxing. But the conventional wisdom is that you can't come into boxing at 23 and
get that out of him, even as he was on the canvas.
I think this is all you can ask for a fighter, somebody who comes in here and gives it all he has, regardless of what the results are. Everybody doesn't have the same skill set. But Algieri's showing you, this is what I have, and I'm putting it all on the line.
And never stop trying to win. He's still trying to win, and to go to the body, especially when he gets position.
The right hand by Algieri. Hard body shot by Provodnikov. Algieri lands upstairs. Take a razor blade and let the blood out, right?
A little disappointed in the first 30 or 40 seconds in Algieri's corner. They didn't get the end swell on there. They got to keep that on there. They got to stay aggressive and not go to sleep, because that eye staying open, or at least partially open, may be the only shot that Algieri had.
It was like they gave up on the eye, I thought, Andre, like they just figured, oh, it's closing.
One thing that may be operating in Provodnikov's favor here is of the ring. And some observers felt that this ring was as small as 18 feet by 18 feet, under the regulation 20 feet. And the smaller it is, of course, the greater advantage to Provodnikov, the power puncher.
I want to point something else out about Algieri. Not only is he, and is fighting with one eye now, but he's not the kind of boxer, in spite of his light power, who's uninteresting to watch. He uses his legs appropriately, throws a lot of punches, and throws like he means it.
Oh, against an opponent that he can control, Algieri has generated 100, 110, sometimes 120 punches per round.
I think what's interesting and exciting about Algieri is he gives you different looks. He's not doing the same thing every round. One minute he touches you and he hits you with the left. Next minute he's flicking the jab. He's doing several different things, and it's exciting to watch, but it's also keeping the big puncher Provodnikov just off balance enough where he can't do what he wants to do.
Yeah, I'm really liking watching him box.
Where Algieri can escape looking for the big shot. Provodnikov has to get him in position and let his punches go.
Algieri's long arms are a bit of a problem for Provodnikov. The multiplicity of his punches showing up, his ability to throw in combination, the bit power that Algieri just can't match.
Although I have to say, Algieri has been taking those shots extremely well, especially considering he was decked in the first round.
Bleeding from the right nostril now. .124 out of 437. Provodnikov, 84 out of 284 sledgehammer shots.
Sometimes as a fighter, we talked about the first round knockdown. Sometimes when you get hit with a good shot early, or you get knocked down.
Saw that, I think, in Cotto and Martinez last week. She saw earlier tonight on the reair. Cotto came out and blitzed.
And he didn't look like he liked that.
Who likes it in the body?
Nobody.
Provodnikov missed a few moments ago with a wild swinging left hook that would have knocked Algieri into next week if he had found the target, but he didn't.
Tough fight or possibly beat you. So this isn't the Provodnikov that people are used to seeing, and I don't think many people expected this from Algieri, but you got to respect this guy. No amateur background.
To fight Juan Manuel Marquez, he wanted to fight Brandon Rios, he wanted to fight a bigger name. He was disappointed that he wound up fighting relatively unknown Chris Algieri.
Yeah, but not quite the snap of the last couple rounds.
Good left hook by Provodnikov, right on that eye, which has been so badly bothered since the beginning of the fight.
Time!
We're halfway through.
Now give me the left, a nice tap, a nice short tap, boom.
That Algieri has outlanded Provodnikov in every round of the fight. Landed 34 punches in that last round, his high number of connected punches in the fight. Steve Weisfeld, how do you have it through 6?
Jim, I have it 59-53 Provodnikov. To some extent, you have the judge's dilemma. Algieri is boxing very well and landing more punches, body. So after 6 rounds, I have Provodnikov up by 6 points.
Now Algieri in this round, Jim, seems to have a little snapback on those shots to me.
I think I just have the hunch that in the last couple of rounds, Algieri has gotten more encouraged with the notion that somehow he could climb back into the fight on the scorecards. Steve Weisfeld, would you be shocked if one or more of the officials...
He's boxing very, very well. I just went with Provodnikov because his punches are harder and they seem to have more effect.
Yeah, especially when a guy's face is falling apart and gets hit with shots like that. It's easy to think, yeah, I'd like to be the other guy here, but Algieri is doing a lot of good work in between those moments for Provodnikov, and now it looks like Provodnikov's right eye is giving him problems.
Well, he
Almost has a look on his face as if to say, you're not supposed to be here. It's round 7.
solid right hand shot by Algieri.
Their body's hurting.
And we're listening now to Tim Lane,
Body's hurt, body's
Algieri's
hurt.
trainer.
Oh, that right hook to the body, Jim, that you mentioned, seemed to take a little something out of Algieri right there.
Algieri slips away. Stayed low under the left hook. But that eye looks awful.
You know, take from the body. Yeah, yeah. He's looking to come over the top. Put that insult on his eye.
Just the forehead, so those are running his eyes.
Deep breath.
9 seconds out, fellas. Stay loose. Quick.
I'll mention the name of the referee, Harvey Dock, because there's been absolutely no reason to mention his name so far. Young referee rising. Provodnikov almost went down. That would have been a feather in out.
Very impressive. And Provodnikov, by the way, has kept that pressure every second of the fight.
Might be useful for Provodnikov to focus on the body for a while and try to break Algieri down.
Well, he started that in the first couple of rounds, like we mentioned, and he's gotten away from that. Now he's looking for one big shot, and Algieri keeps showing him different looks.
The target should be the rib cage. That's where he's going to chop the taller man down. Provodnikov has been lunging a little bit in the last couple of rounds. That makes it easier for Algieri to counter.
That's right. Spoke about where it looked like Algieri landed a big left hook, but here we see he landed a short, small jab, but it's the...
Round 9 of a scheduled 12. Chris Algieri runs out of the corner into the center of the ring.
Ruslan Provodnikov, called the Siberian Rocky, and an important component of that nickname and that brand, if you will, is that and against Alvarado. In this fight, he came in as the heavy favorite.
One of them was the very close unanimous decision loss in the Bradley fight. The other
punch of Provodnikov is definitely his kryptonite, and we're seeing that tonight. Provodnikov is being Provodnikov to a degree, but Algieri's not fully letting him be.
Wouldn't be able to box because Provodnikov wouldn't let him. He's not trying to let Algieri box here. Algieri's just boxing.
That's right.
The recognized champion of the 140-pound weight class at this moment is American Danny Garcia. Although Garcia, in his last fight,
exactly where a guy is in terms of his career development.
Thunderous right hand by Provodnikov as Algieri unaccountably stood still in the corner.
Because the sample size is so small. It's like team, or were circumstances just right, or did he improve? And this is how good Algieri is.
Yeah, I think that's more the case. I think Provodnikov is trained for this fight. He's improving, he's growing, and Algieri's just doing a really good job right now.
It wasn't a difficult fight at first, and it became more difficult as the rounds progressed.
Here we see the kind of shots that Algieri's been landing on Provodnikov. Just a touch with the left hand and a decent right hand.
9. Provodnikov 151 out of 556, 27%. Algieri 230 out of 773, 30%. Algieri throwing more, landing at a higher connect percentage, but the impact not nearly the same.
Algieri doesn't have big knockout power, but he hits not only hard enough to get respect.
Have it 88-81 for Provodnikov. More than anything, judges wish that there was a magical mathematical formula that says that 3 light shots equals 1 hard shot, or 4 to do their best based on their experience. I'm going with the harder, more effective shots. That's why I have Provodnikov up by 7.
The other way. So if you disagree with Steve by, let's say, 2 rounds, rather than it being a 7-point fight, it's a 3-point fight.
Much we debate the merits of scoring hard punches versus more frequent punches is that he knocked Algieri down twice in the first round, making that a 10-7 round. So it's been Provodnikov stalking, Algieri continuing to move the late rounds.
And I think he's still ahead of Provodnikov in terms of sheer volume.
Go on, Provodnikov, who's heavier-handed than Algieri.
Hard right hand by Algieri as Provodnikov was leaning in.
Doesn't need to get the same snap on his shots to generate power, and I think it actually favors Provodnikov as they both grow weary.
We spoke a little bit earlier about the size of this ring. It's a small ring. It's an 18-foot ring, soft canvas. I tested it out myself earlier. But I was told that Algieri in Huntington, New York, at the arena that he fights at, he actually fights in a 16-foot ring. So that explains.
In terms of Provodnikov's will and his punching power, and the fact that as the underdog, he performed the way he did against Tim Bradley, and then broke Mike Alvarado, who seemed to have such indomitable will before Provodnikov. He's the local kid, the nice story, but the huge underdog who has no real chance, and he performs like this.
You can't measure, but this kid has made up his mind that tonight it doesn't matter what Provodnikov's reputation is, and you run into fighters like that where they don't.
As he is on the same page with Provodnikov, probably the doctors would not have allowed him to go this far.
Fighting this well with that eye in addition to everything else.
And talent, he has made it this far in a fight basically dominated by the punching power of Ruslan Provodnikov.
I said earlier that Algieri has to make this a battle of skill, not will.
Sustained damage to the body in the middle rounds in particular.
I think part of it is neglect from Provodnikov, and the other part you have to give credit to Algieri. Provodnikov needs his feet set before he can land those power shots, and Algieri moves just enough.
Advantage of that closed eye by bringing something big up from the bottom where Algieri doesn't see it coming, and Algieri somehow has a sixth sense and is avoiding it.
You can feel it. You don't always need to see a punch coming as a fighter. You can sense it, you can feel it, and you kind of know when to duck and get out the way.
And frankly, punching in the middle rounds. Provodnikov may have been targeting the eye so consciously that he lost track.
A few things, certain telegraphs, and things that, Provodnikov will do. He may be a hitch here, a hitch there, and he knows when that big left hook is coming.
That's a smart think on his feet fighter, Algieri.
I think the boxing world knows who Algieri is tonight.
An impressive show in its way.
Algieri wins no matter what, and Ruslan loses a little bit.
I agree with that.
No matter what the official verdict is.
Well, Steve Weisfeld's unofficial scorecard is going to look relatively one-sided. And maybe all three official judges' scorecards.
DeLuca has it 117-109 for Provodnikov. Tom Schreck scores it 114-112 for Algieri. Don Trella scores it. Same score, 114-112 to the winner by split decision. And new undefeated WBO light welterweight champion